Hello and welcome to Taking Tolvaptan day 2921. First of all, a disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, so nothing I say constitutes advice. I'm just telling you my experience and you need to listen at your own risk. Your situation may be very different to mine, so please talk to a doctor before you make any decisions or changes. Yes, I can't believe it. It's 2 years since I last said hello on a video. I'm sorry, time has flown. It's amazing. And in fact, tomorrow is my 8th anniversary of starting to take Tolvaptan. Yes, this day, 8 years ago, I ran the Great North race, Great North Run, half marathon. And then on the Monday, I started taking Tolvaptan, and I still am. So here I go today. Here is my Tolvaptan, and I take these ones in the morning, so they're upstairs in my pill box, and these ones are the 30s, those are the 90s. These ones I take in the afternoon, it says Wednesday, so I'll take Wednesday. Here we go. Ooh. Ta-da! 2 heads. No, 1 head. Oh well, I'm absolutely fine. So my EGFR, my estimated glomerular filtration rate, my kidney function, what's that, I hear you say? Well, it has been in the last year that, or that, or that, or that. In fact, it started there, and the last 3 readings, the last 6 months or so, it's been around here, just holding on. I'm doing a blood test in about a month, so we'll find out where it is, whether it's just keeping going or whether it's going down. In fact, when it was going down from that to that to that, I was getting a bit worried because it was going quite quickly. Down 4 every 3 months. I thought I was going to be on dialysis in no time, and then it levelled out at 26 again. Here's a graph, and here's a more long-term graph, and you can see there, that's where I started Tolvaptan, and that's where I am now. So who knows what would have happened if I didn't take Tolvaptan. But if I'm an average person, on average, I'd have a lower kidney function by now if I hadn't. Maybe by as much as 10 or something like that. So I might be down to 16, who knows. But I am taking Tolvaptan and it's going okay. I think I'm very fortunate, very blessed with how I have polycystic kidney disease, in that I don't experience very much pain. I'm sure that Tolvaptan helps with that. I don't have any UTIs. I'm not actually that very big. Here, I'll give you a blast of my sideways on tummy. There we go. So I think I'm fairly fortunate in that respect. Technically, I'm now end stage renal disease, and I saw my letter for my next appointment that I'm pre-dialysis clinic. So that's the next thing that'll happen as my kidney function decreases further. I've told you about my knee before, how I damaged that on holiday a couple of years ago. It's much better now, but still can't run. Thanks for your interest in that. So I've started swimming now. I've been doing that for about just over a year. I'm quite enjoying that. Do about half an hour twice a week. One new thing which is linked to my kidney disease is that I've been suffering with gout. That's now under control. I'll say a little bit more about that in a minute or two. And also another new thing is that I've got grandchildren. It's very exciting. And the older one really likes my purple bottle, and he just about worked out that he can get it to open if he pushes the button. I can lock it. So just a reminder of what good old Tolvaptan does. It slows down the rate at which your kidney function deteriorates. So it's a bit like if your kidney function going down is a bit like leaping out of an aeroplane with a dodgy parachute. And if you're taking Tolvaptan, you've got a slightly better parachute. It takes you longer to hit the ground. Here's a graph from the trials, and the dotted line going down is what they expect the average normal kidney patient, the way their function decreased. And the solid line, which is going down not quite as quickly, represents those on Tolvaptan. It doesn't look very like a big difference, but that's because of the scale, and in fact it's quite a significant change. But it's on average as well, so it affects different people in different ways. Some people were really strongly affected in the trials and others less so. So anyway, so that's it. It's supposed to slow down the way that your kidneys deteriorate. It's supposed to give you longer before you have to go on dialysis. It also has some side effects, and one of those is kidney size, and another is, in other words, it keeps kidneys smaller, so they say. And another one is less pain involved because your cysts are smaller, so less pain involved with the cysts on the kidneys. And I've been very fortunate, I had very little pain at all. Oh, what about the gout then? I know you're thinking, well, gout is when the urate levels in your blood, which is a waste product, get high, and there's too much in your blood, and so it crystallizes in some joints and causes inflammation and pain. And my urate levels, as you can see on this graph, are sky high. Apparently that isn't helped by the dehydrating effects of Tolvaptan. You can see on the graph how my urate goes up and up as my kidney function decreases. But then once I've gone on the drug to help it, it drops down to a better level, about 400 at the moment. It needs to be 350, they say, but I'm having a blood test soon to see whether I've got near that. I did have a couple of nights in agony with it in my feet, and a day waiting around A&E where my left foot blew up like a balloon. But now it's controlled, so I'm not in pain, I don't have much inflammation. This third finger blew up for a while, and it's pretty normal again now. And I control it with diet, and I'm taking allopurinol, which, as you can see on the graph, has had a huge difference. So with diet, meat-wise, I'm not eating beef and pork very much at all, and I drink a little bit less beer. I'm having another blood test for that soon, so we'll see if everything's having an effect. Well, obviously it is, because I'm not having attacks of gout, so that's good. People have asked a few questions, and so let me just answer a few questions. Some people have said they're scared about starting Tolvaptan, and that's completely understandable. It's very unknown, and you hear about all this needing to go to the loo a lot. Sounds awful. It actually, when you get into it, isn't anything like as bad as you imagine it's going to be. For most people, it's way easier than you expect. I know some people do have issues and can't tolerate it, but for most, it's much easier than the fears you had anyway. What about diet? Somebody asked. What about eating meat, drinking alcohol? Well, in moderation, I think is the answer. Again, talk to your nephrologist and your dietitian about this. But I eat some meat, low salt definitely. We don't add salt to food as we're cooking here, and I drink. I'm fairly low alcohol consumption. Weirdly, my phosphorus is really low, and that's unusual for a kidney patient. And my nephrologist thinks that's again down to Tolvaptan. So I can actually eat spinach, which a lot of kidney patients can't, apparently. People have asked, do you feel really tired because of the lack of sleep? And I think that was something that did affect me to start with. So first 6 months or so, because I was waking up in the night to go to the loo, probably every 3 to 4 hours. So I'd have 1 or 2 nighttime loo trips. That took a while to get used to, and I did get quite tired, a little bit depressed at one point. But after 6 months, something seemed to click, and I just get used to it now. At the moment, it's still the same. I'll get up 1 or 2 times a night. So, for example, last night I woke up at about 1:30 a.m. and then about 6. I'm lucky I don't have to get up that early for work, so I went back to sleep till 7. Someone asked, what about dizziness or feeling of being heavy? I haven't experienced any of that. Like I said, side effect wise, for me, the weeing is the obvious thing. Just recently the gout has been an issue, but that's been treated, and actually the side effects have been positive. So not being very big is great. Not having much kidney pain is also a good thing. So here I am, progressing fairly well, feeling quite healthy, and about to complete my 8th year on Tolvaptan, also known as Jinarc. Thanks for your interest, thanks for your comments, and thanks for your encouragement. I'll try to reply to comments when I see them. So keep going. If you're on Tolvaptan, I hope it helps you. And I'll be back maybe in another year, maybe sooner. Let's see what happens. Thanks for watching. Bye.